Christmas Eve, everybody, as we get the Christmas present of a trial in this stream today. Welcome everybody, as we gotta get the audio going here though for the game, so sadly gotta turn that off. The audio is a go. Hell yeah. I was thinking we might have technical difficulties, but we are good. So if you remember in the last stream of Phoenix Wright, we found out there was an accident from the acrobat who no longer can use his legs, which makes his job very difficult, and his brother who is in a coma. So things are getting very interesting, and he holds Regina heavily responsible. I think I have an idea of who done did it. I've got a thought in my brain. Will it be big brain? I don't know. That is yet to be determined. December 30th, 9:41 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 5. Oh my god, I'm not ready for you, Maya. Good morning, Max! Oh, yes. Good morning, sweeties. You don't seem like your usual sparkling self today. I'm always like this before I go in front of an audience. I'm working up to it. I can only assume that is one person. A tee-hee, I feel, can only come from one person. A tee-hee. Yep. I knew it. Don't get nervous, Maxie. Here, have a glass of milk. Get this man some milk. So I want to just, yep, okay. I'm making sure my audio level is good. Regina! How fabulous, my sweetie pie princess! You came to watch my performance today. Of course I did. Mo told me that I should come and watch this. Oh great, Mo said it. That's fantastic. That gives me the utmost positive in the way things are gonna go. Mo said that? So, what kind of performance will you put on today? Let me guess. You'll fly at the end? Oh, I don't think she likes how just stagnant his show is. I don't think she likes how stagnant his shows are and how predictable they are. It's not that kind of show. Isn't that right, my sweeties? Huh? Alright, I get where you're going here, Max. I understand. I think my sweetie pie princess doesn't... Yeah. She doesn't seem to realize what's going on. Or even where she is. Well, Max, it looks like it's time to raise the curtain. I'll see you later. Today, I'm just a member of the audience. Fabulous. Enjoy yourself out there. Good luck, Max. You're the best. I think she says that to everybody. Regina's different, don't you think, Nick? Jacksepticeye just walk into the room? Oh, Lord. Even though it's Mo, I feel like I need to do that in an Irish accent. Alright. I'm gonna pull off a god-awful Irish accent just for this. Top of the morning to ya! Yep, there you go. Terrible. Everybody, let's get ready to get stuck in legal limbo! How low can you go? Mo. Top of the morning to you! Oh, Lord. Top of the morning to you, Governor? Top of the morning? That's the ticket. Attacking the day starts with energy in the morning. Why do you think I got this? The early bird gets the worm, but then again, worms lack higher brain function. Bruh, Mo, why you gotta do worms like that? I'm not laughing at that one. Here, Max, I brought you a present. Have some milk. Bruh, they all knew to get this man some milk. They all knew. Oh my. Thanks. So how are you today, Wright? Why are you calling him by his last name? Mo, you're the only one who calls this man by his last name. What on earth? Even Francisca says Phoenix Wright. Like, come on, man. Well, I got the feeling that today I'm going to face off against the real culprit. You mean Acro? Huh? You think he did it? Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line. Literally. He's got guts to spare. All I've got to worry about is how thin the tightrope is. I'm used to it already. It just means that I won't be able to press him like I can other witnesses. What are you going to do then, Nick? I guess today, we'll just have to do without our usual psychological warfare. Today, we rely on evidence. It's the only way we'll get past Acro and to the truth. You're right, but it's gonna be tough. Anyway, I want you to make sure that Regina sees it all today. It's important. Then she'll finally have to deal with the reality of what happened to her father. You want us to make sure Regina watches? Yes, that's why I brought her here to court today. What's that supposed to mean? She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. Dear Lord, Mo. Mo's like, we gotta traumatize her and take all the childish wonder out of her life. Okay, Mo. Okay. Okay, Mo. Whatever it takes. We will make sure that, that Regina's childhood wonderment is grounded in reality and that she never has a childish belief in her lifetime again. Gotcha. I may be an old-fashioned clown, but I don't believe in people becoming stars. December 30th, 10 a.m. Well, ain't that convenient? I mean, this is next week. Doesn't know what I'm doing next week. The game is psychic. District Court, courtroom number 2. No, I'm not streaming next week. Yeah, I got next week off. Court is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Galactica. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. just a bit more. Very well, Miss Von Kama. You may proceed with your case.
The prosecution would like to revise its previous theory of events.
What's the meaning of this?
We have discovered a new witness, or shall I say a new eyewitness. One that saw Maximilian Galactica fly off from the scene of the crime.
Order! Order! I had a feeling something like this would happen.
Due to this revision, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night. An explanation the prosecution will present if the need so arises. In fact, my detective stayed up all night creating a mock-up of the scene on my orders.
I was about to say the same thing, Phoenix. Poor Gumshoe. Man gets no breaks. Man gets no breaks. Very well. Please call your witness to the stand. Time to get to work, shall I say? Time to walk the courtroom tightrope. Okay. How the fuck do birds get in here? This man brought birds into the courtroom. That's got to be against some type of legal practice.
Name and occupation.
What was your voice? Did I just give you like the Dan Green? I feel like I gave him like the Dan Green mock. Kin Dingling, but everyone calls me Acro. I'm employed as an acrobat at the very big circus.
Where were you on the night of the crime?
I was in my room that night.
If you look at the map, you will see the witness's room is near the crime scene.
My room is on the 3rd floor. The crime scene is below my window. Yes. I see. Well, let's add a 3rd story floor to the fanfic.
The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Would you tell us what you witnessed?
Okay. Give Acro this. He's quite just settled in. It was just after 10 p.m. I was resting in my bed. Around that time, I heard a large thump noise from outside the window. I'm gonna say it now. I forgot to make this joke the last time we saw this image. That's not Maximilian Galactica. That's the Babadook. That's what that really is. That's the Babadook. Then a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window. It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like. Well, that doesn't help anything if you saw him from behind, Acro. To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming. This witness's testimony matches up exactly with that of the clown.
If that's the case, there is very little the prosecution need add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared into the sky that night.
Okay, Phoenix. Taking things into your own hands this time around. I like it. I like it. He's growing a pair. Before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness.
A foolish choice by a foolish fool who wishes to feel the foolish sadness of a sad fool. A man must know the proper timing for things, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Just like your old friend, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, did.
Oh, you didn't just do that. Oh, no. Oh. Tell me I did not just hear that. Tell me I did not just hear that. Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with the witness's testimony? In the words of Miss Von Karma, may I quote yesterday's proceedings? There's no way that actually happened. Very well. You may proceed with your cross-examination. Okay. Okay, Acro. You said that you were resting in bed? One would thus assume that you turned the lights off in your room, correct? That's correct. But there are safety lights out around the outside of the lodging house. God damn it, he's right. Couldn't catch me alive there. It's so bright, sometimes it can make it hard to sleep. That's the case. Wouldn't it be a good idea to close some curtains? The judge makes sense. Where'd that bird come from? I never really thought of that. I guess that means I'm off to buy some curtains. Sometimes I make myself useful in these chambers. Shut up. For once, thank you, Von Karma. Thank you for that.
The witness will proceed with his testimony.
Okay. Your room is on the 3rd floor, right? Yes. And you said that you were resting in bed. That is correct. But you were still able to hear a sound from outside? I was indeed. Well, fuck. Maybe something was contradictory in what he said just now. Unless there's nothing wrong just yet. What's the matter, Mr. Wright? Nothing, Your Honor. Until I can find a clear contradiction. Should tread lightly. Fuck Von Karma, calm down. Let me see. Okay, just trying to get an idea here. Are you sure it was a human being? Could have been a mannequin, or perhaps a large action figure. It was a large action figure. Well, setting aside the possibility of a mannequin, an action figure is plausible.
You have no need to mince words with Mr. Phoenix Wright. Testify to the truth and only the truth, just as if we were there with you that night.
I believe it was a human. Damn. Just strengthened his testimony. I wonder if Acro's statement jives with the facts. Jives with the facts. I love it. Jaren, welcome to the stream, man. Not gonna question it yet. Just trying to see if he slips up at all. I just want to know. Okay. I think I know what I have to do, but I'm very uncertain of it. The light in your room was turned off then, right? That's true. I was going to bed after all. As you do. So with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human fly by your window. The safety lights lit things up enough for me to see. But honestly, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. It was the person's back, so I couldn't see the white roses on the front. Did you see any other symbols? I clearly saw the silk hat, as well as the cloak wrapped around his body. Convinced that the person I saw was Max Galactica. The more I press on, the less results I seem to get. Maybe there was something fishy. His latest bit of testimony. Okay, I'm saving here because I feel like I think I caught something. If there's a contradiction, then prove it with evidence. She's right. Let's see some evidence. Do you have any evidence to support your claim of a contradiction? You claim to have seen the exact same thing Mo saw that night. Do you stand by that? What do you mean? The silk hat. This is because he saw the hat, but the hat was lying at the crime scene, which means it fell off at some point. So while he was going up, it would have fallen off. He wouldn't have seen it. I think I figured some stuff out. I think I have big brained some things. Holy shit, I think I big brained some things. This might be the smartest I've been ever in this game. If I'm right. That is very big if, but if I'm right. What about the silk hat? I saw it on Max's head as he flew by my window. That ain't saying much. Well, Jaren, thank you for having the most confidence in me and lifting me up so much. I appreciate it. Well, you should have tried looking down out of your window that night. That would have been quite difficult considering the state that I'm in. Just looking outside of the window was a tough enough challenge for me. That's a shame, because you would have noticed the silk hat found on the scene. That's the ringmaster's hat, right? I have as much confidence in you that I have the Raiders making the playoffs, who have a less than 1% chance. So much confidence. It hits me right in the heart, man. So much confidence. Afraid not. No matter how you look at it, this is Max's silk hat. Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? I do have to add a silk hat into my fanfiction, though. Those things seem quite comfortable. Are you saying that Max has 2 silk hats? No. This is a handmade, one-of-a-kind model, made only for Maximilian Galactica, which means, Acro, that you've been fibbing on the stand. He used the term fibbing. I love it. Thank you, Phoenix, for being child-friendly. All the children in the courtroom appreciate that. All those kids sitting there watching this court proceeding. Order! Order!
As always, it looks like someone has just had to open their mouth before thinking. Are you okay, Nick?
Lions wide receiver coach will be the head coach this week as Bevel is in COVID isolation. Ooh. Who they playing again? Because I think I played somebody against them. Well, I opened my big mouth, and now I have to back it up. How about it, Mr. Wright? What would cause this witness to commit perjury in this court today? Oh, they're playing Tampa. Yeah, because I'm playing Fournette. I got Fournette in my lineup. I think I've got more than just Fournette. I think I've got Fournette and somebody else. Plays Fournette, gets 3 carries. Ronald Jones shouldn't play, at least from what I've seen. So he should get more than 3 carries. Maybe 10. But that might be it. Yeah, I know, but Fournette should be the lead back if Ronald Jones isn't playing. That's the big plus. So he'll get most of the carries. Not saying he'll get all of them. I don't think Acro's the real culprit. But he doesn't. Keyshawn Vaughn get 20 carries. Don't put your juju on me, Jaren. Don't put your juju on my fantasy team. Your Honor, on this occasion, the defense accuses Acro himself. On this occasion, accuses Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of? Obviously, we accuse him of the murder of Mr. Russell Barry. I mean, he does have all the motive. Mr. Wright, are you serious? Deadly serious, Your Honor.
Ha, ha, ha. I think your trips to the circus have served you well. You seem to have learned how to try and grab at an audience's hearts and minds. Your Honor, don't allow yourself to be swayed by theatrics, trying to wow the crowd with smoke and mirrors. Oh, you know, it's smoke and mirrors. Is the oldest bluff in the book.
Really?
If you don't believe me, just look at the witness.
I mean, he brought birds in. I think that's plenty to say that he's evil.
Wow, it's only smoke and mirrors.
That was a great theme, man. That was a great theme. Not as good as Kingdom, because Kingdom is phenomenal, but Smoke and Mirrors was a great theme.
He's calm enough for it to almost be scary.
I don't know, I still think this man did some. Hey! What the look at the birds poking Phoenix! He is staying rather calm and collected. Mr. Dingling, do you have any response to the defense's accusations? I don't really need to say a thing, do I? What do you mean? He gets rid of so many awesome themes, man. I mean, mainly because Vince didn't want to pay royalties. Everyone take a good look at me. I can't even stand up by myself, let alone leave the lodging house. That's true. I understand that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. But to do this by accusing me of a murder, of all things.
See? Even a sliver of common sense makes it clear the accusation is ludicrous.
Shit. She's right. Way to pick on the disabled, you heartless, cruel man. Ah, shit. Nice going, Phoenix.
Phoenix is a poopy head. See that, Mr. Phoenix, right? If you're trying to drum up support from the peanut gallery, that's how you do it.
Fuck you, Von Karma. Fuck you.
I think that's enough of this little game. I got a doctor's note to confirm that Acro is unable to stand under his own power. Maybe the defense is planning on making a claim to counter this as well. I can hear the defense now. Acro had an accomplice.
You ain't wrong. What do you say about this, Miss Wright? Did Acro have an accomplice? This is actually gonna be the number 2 spot now. It's impossible for Acro to be the murderer in this case. If that's the case, then it's natural for one to consider possible accomplices. You don't say. Not good. Not good. This isn't going to end well.
Don't tell me you think you're going to get off easy.
What?
You must not have heard that sound just now. Maybe it wasn't clear enough. The sound of you falling into your own trap can be hard to notice sometimes.
Mr. Wright, seems as if you won't be stopping at Acro, but will be making other accusations. If Acro did not have an accomplice, things are not looking good for you. I understand, Your Honor. Very well, let's continue. Who, perchance, would happen to be Acro's accomplice? I just think I know how the murder took place. I can't say I know who the accomplice exactly is. You know what? It's the monkey. You don't say. Uh-oh. This is suddenly looking very bad.
Don't tell me you think you're going to get off easy.
But what?
Oh, did you hear that?
Hear what?
The sound of you getting caught in your own trap. A splendid accomplice. I'm sure this accusation is built on a solid foundation.
Foundation? Yes, Mr. Wright. Do you have any proof that this person you've accused was indeed an accomplice? It's shiny. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? This piece of evidence is lacking in persuasive power.
You didn't miss that sound, did you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You know, the sound of you receiving a penalty.
Fuck you, Von Karma.
What are you doing, Nick?
I don't know anymore. He had an accomplice. He had to have. That's just he had to. I'm trying to think what puts... Because the statue was used as a placeholder, I believe, for for Maximilian Galactica. That's why the hat he saw didn't fall off. I'm trying to think here now, because at this point, it's either Money the Monkey which makes sense because everything is shiny. Oh great, my phone's ringing. And that ain't Leon. Alright. It's either the monkey or it's fucking Mo. Or it could be Regina. But I don't think it's Regina. And it's not his brother because he's still in a coma. It's gotta be the monkey. It's gotta be the monkey. And then... But what's the evidence for that? Because if I get up and everyone is here for once, prepping breakfast, and I just went back into my room. Yep. Yeah, man. You're too busy watching a guy have a small brain moment. You know what? Do I really do it? Yeah, I think I know who it might be. Yeah. Fuck. He had an accomplice. I'm wondering. Okay, so that just moves normally. I'm trying to get an idea of kind of if this is working the way I think it did. Doesn't work? Okay. Fuck. God. Oh, Lord. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he didn't didn't have an accomplice. See, I just think I know how the murder was done at this point. I really can't say I know who done it. I just think I know how the murder happened. I wonder.
Now then, this must be when we get to hear the name of the mystery accomplice.
Not this time, Von Karma. He didn't have an accomplice. That's what it was the entire time. I thought the monkey counted as an accomplice.
What?
You're not going to sucker me into this one. What are you blabbering about, Mr. Wright? There was no accomplice. Oh, I get it. She's so enticed on hearing the accomplice because she knows there was no accomplice. Small brain. Small brain. Acro planned and committed this murder all by himself. Small brain. Small brain. I've used so much of my big brain power already between the Nuzlocke and the last time we were in this trial. I mean, I don't know if I got any left. What are you getting at?
Way to keep them on their toes, Nick.
Now I'm going to have to prove how it all fits together. I have to show how Acro murdered Russell Berry.
Can you do it, Nick? Can you really do that?
I know what I can't do. I can't stop now. If I stop attacking, I'm doomed.
Alright, then let's do it! Mr. Phoenix Wright, if this witness is the killer, then his eyewitness account is all lies, right?
Mr. Wright, I'd like you to clear something up for me. When the crime was committed, exactly where was Mr. Dingling? Oh, he was here. He was obviously here the entire time. That's Acro's room. Yeah, I forgot Pokemon. Why Lily has a Who's That Pokemon gym. Yep. Pretty simple, eh? Acro wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. In that case, there can be only one correct answer. Acro didn't leave his room to kill the ringmaster.
What? Are you nuts?
What say you, Mr. Dingling? It's an interesting theory. Fuck. That's it? Considering that what you proposed is impossible, yes, that's it. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. As the witness has stated, your assertion is impossible. As he is in a wheelchair, there is no way he could go to the scene or be the killer.
You've got a point. It seems you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The defendant was clearly spotted at the scene of the crime. That's true! Mo said that he saw Max, didn't he?
But Maya, it's still impossible for humans to fly. Do you mind if I ask a question, Mr. Wright? What is it? I understand some of your logic. However, how do you think that I killed him? I can't leave my room. I obviously couldn't wear Max's costume. How did he do it? That's the next course of this legal buffet.
Be careful, Nick. If you mess up here.
She's right. I can't mess up here. Gotta give this one some serious thought. I'm sure that Agro killed the ringmaster. He did it while he was in his room, no doubt about it. Time to enlighten us as to how Mr. Dingling committed the crime, Mr. Wright. Wait, let me save real quick. I do think I know this one. I do think I might know this one. I'm going to present some evidence. So what did Mr. Dingling use to commit the crime of murder against Russell Barry? What's this? A picture? It is indeed. The problem is with the item that's shown in the picture. The bust. It's quite a large bust. And because it is life-sized, it is also very, very heavy. Heavy? Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death. Especially if it was dropped from a third-story window. Your Charizard just squashed a Raichu, I would assume. I knew it. I knew it. I figured that the only reason they saw Maximilian Galactica was the head of Maximilian Galactica was the bust. So I figured the bust was used as the murder weapon. I big brained that one. I big brained that one. Ah! Uh-oh. All the birds flew away. We got him now, boys. See? This is how Acro was able to kill the Ringmaster. With the force of gravity and Maximilian Galactica's ample bust. Order! Order! So you're saying the bust fell onto the Ringmaster? Rather simple crime. Even if you were stuck in a wheelchair, it would be incredibly easy to commit.
How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? It's impossible.
Have you seen this dude? Like, you seen his arms? This dude does not skip arm day. He has to skip leg day, but he does not skip arm day. He should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like the bust. Mr. Dingling, how do you respond to these charges? Well,
Acro's at a loss for words.
he should be. He knows that I'm getting close to the truth. Well, well, well. Acro!
I'd watch what I say if I were you, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What?
Your Honor, the physical health of the Z-Witness is material to this case. I demand that we get proper testimony from the witness himself.
Testimony, you say? On karma? She's just using this testimony as a ruse to stall for time. There's absolutely no need for such testimony.
The defense has its version of the murder. The prosecution has the right to respond.
The defense's objection is overruled. Damn it. Why can't he see things my way once in a while? Mr. Dingling, I'm sorry, but we need you to testify about your physical condition. If you have any doubts about your ability to testify, we can request expert testimony.
The witness will have no problems. However, let's all be respectful towards him.
Thank you. That woman will sink to any low to win a case. Okay, here we go. Acro's physical state. I suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bust. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat. Only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the ringmaster's head. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bust on him, don't you think? I'll say this, he makes a good point there. I have no doubts in regards to this witness's testimony.
It was impossible for him to lift the bust and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention that he could not have known the location of the ringmaster's head. A single false step would have led to even more severe injuries.
That's what I was thinking. What is your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright? I'd still like to proceed with my cross-examination.
He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really.
I can't let her get to me. I've got to focus. Have you ever lifted up the bust before? No. I've never actually lifted it up with my own two hands. But I should get to it. Don't you think? I can't let money outdo me on this. Money? The crazy monkey has lifted Max's bust before? Thank you, Acro, for just incriminating yourself. Please continue with your testimony, Mr. Dingling. So what have you been doing to keep in shape? Well, honestly, I've given up on training. I don't have any plans to return to the trapeze or the tightrope. You don't say. But, no offense, I'm not worried about losing to you in a race or anything.
Neither am I, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I wouldn't lose either, Slowpoke! I mean, Nick!
Whoa, whoa, whoa! How did the discussion turn to me all of a sudden? I suppose you could say that I'm stronger than the average bear. And why is that? Because if I were to do that, I'd end up falling out the window myself. Still haven't gotten much feeling back in my legs yet. So you couldn't have thrown that bust out the window. How long do you think your recovery will take? You have to remember that my nerves were severely damaged. Currently undergoing some extremely intense rehabilitation. It's still going to take a while before I'm back to 100%.
Let me remind you of another very important point. If the witness was carrying the bust, he would not be able to see out below the window.
Why do you say it would be impossible? Allow me to explain. You accept that if I was carrying the bust, I couldn't see out below the window. Thus, there is no way that I would know the location of the ringmaster's head. Well, I suppose you've got a point.
Hey, Nick!
Huh?
What if you turn things around? Maybe if you think of it sort of like this. If he knew the location of the ringmaster's head, then he could drop the bus.
That does make sense. If only I could prove somehow. And Acro knew the location of the ringmaster's head without looking down. I think I've already explained things sufficiently. If all you had to do was drop it, then it wouldn't have been a problem at all. All I had to do was drop it. You're right. I could have done that. However, there is no way that I could land a direct hit on the ringmaster's head. So that kind of makes your theory a bit pointless, doesn't it, Mr. Wright? Acro is strong enough to lift up the bust.
The main problem is how he could have aimed for the ringmaster's head.
Wonder if he used some kind of tool to aim for the ringmaster.
That's the ticket, Nick. Show them what you've got.
I have to be careful. I have to find something that fits perfectly with the case.
I don't remember us finding any sort of tool. Maybe we overlooked something.
Okay. Alright. If I'm right, we're going with one guy and one guy only. Oh, shit. Okay, never mind. I thought I had that. Nope. I thought maybe I was stretching that one. I thought maybe he smelled the pepper. I don't know if I know monkey is the situation here. Shit, didn't mean to press him. Yes, yes, yes. Is it the box? Okay. We're making too many false accusations here. But It's gotta be this. I think it might be the box. Yeah, okay, it is the box. So he dropped the box, and that's how he knew where it would land. Acro, you didn't really need to lean out the window, did you? What are you driving at, Mr. Wright? You already knew ahead of time where the ringmaster's head was going to be. Quite precisely, I may add.
Your silly hinting at things is pointless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Enough stalling. How about you show us some evidence?
But I did such a good job hinting. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright. Maybe you should take a look at this. The key point here is the wooden box. The same wooden box that the victim was found hunched over. Or, the same wooden box that the victim was found hunched over. The same. The question is, who placed the wooden box here? Who? When Ben and company saw the ringmaster, they didn't see him holding the box. Which means that this one box was already placed at the scene of the crime. I have to admit that your theory makes a lot of sense. The moment that the bust came falling down was exactly the same moment that the ringmaster lifted up this wooden box. Which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear.
You mean...
If the bust were to fall upon the point marked out by the wooden box, there would be no way that it could miss the head of the victim.
No!
Got her where we want her. Order! 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 This is unbelievable! Finally, some of these loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Now I just gotta keep going. There's only one way to go from here. Forward. So the next question I have is, who placed that wooden box at the scene? It was Mr. Dingling, of course. He connected it to the rope, and then all he had to do was lower it down. Ow!
Mr. Phoenix Wright. Ow, 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 ow! The ringmaster's head could have been anywhere when he lifted the box.
That's why the box was so specifically made.
Specifically made?
Indeed. It had the most peculiar feature. Think it's the contents. Think. Think he's talking about the pepper. Do you recall what was inside the wooden box? It was only a small bottle of pepper, wasn't there? He got him to sniff the box.
Get on with it.
Well.
What's the matter? Cut your tongue?
Well, never mind then. I don't see any relationship between the location of his head and the box's contents. Shit. I legit thought I had something going there. Well, never mind then. I just don't want to get penalized. The weight of the box. The box has a remarkable weight.
Weight?
According to the court record, it weighs 20 pounds. Just to lift up this wooden box would have required... Oh, I see. One would have to squat down, then lift it up with their body, wouldn't you say? It's exactly what I was trying to point out. The box is also very large. The box also has carrying handles on either side, doesn't it? That is correct. To To lift up the box, you'd have to squat down. Which means that no matter who you are, your head would be in approximately the same place.
Fool!
He's way too calm. Doesn't he even bother to listen to me anymore? I've heard what you've had to say. I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills. Did you do it? Didn't you place this wooden box in the plaza? Mr. Wright may have a vivid imagination, but I could never have done what he's proposing. What? Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of Max's bust? Yeah, I remember. Of course I remember. It's on top of the table in the cafeteria. And what happened to it? I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I could not possibly leave the lodging house by myself.
Ah! That means...
You understand what I mean, don't you? I may very well have been able to drop the bust from my room. However, how would I have gotten the bust from the cafeteria to my room? Well, that's easy. That bust is very shiny.
You see, Mr. Phoenix Wright, explain that. Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice.
Yeah.
Tell us exactly how the witness would have carried the bus from the cafeteria.
Yep, we definitely have a problem here. This is no place to get perplexed. I've got to get my wits about me and prove how things happened once and for all. Alright, Mr. Wright, let's hear your explanation. How did the witness get the bus from the cafeteria back to his room? A monkey? Everyone knows money. He loves shiny objects of any size. Oh, like when he stole the ventriloquist ring.
So, are you saying the witness had a monkey steal the bus?
Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own, and then brought it back home. You just squashed Clement in Pokemon Y? I mean, he wasn't the hardest to take on. Home? Monkey lives in Acro's room. Acro's room?
But the bust was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny.
Did you see the playing cards? Maybe you should put the whip down sometimes and read the court record. Oh! Oh, Phoenix! Phoenix got jokes? Phoenix got burns now? He's feeling it. When he's pulling out these lines, you know he's feeling it. My, those are some very nice cards he's holding. Almost playing cards-ish. Yes, and they're made of platinum, which is very shiny. And also one of the best Pokemon games. Gah! Acro. Money is a strong monkey, right? It'd be easy for him to bring the bus back to your room. Oh shit, you're smiling. He wasn't able to handle that himself. I'd be on the market for a new roommate. Order! Order! I said order! Mrs. Von Karma! Where is the bust in question at this moment?
I don't know. We are searching for it as we speak.
A This is a rather strange turn of events. Let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bust. What would have happened then? Well, in that event, something else would have been used as the murder weapon.
Wait! Then you mean this bust was a murder weapon purely by accident?
It's possible. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Anyways, I think we've more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer.
Moron!
Don't call my boy Phoenix names. Mr. Wright's argument was so crucial, I'm still a bit dizzy. Was so circular, I'm still a bit dizzy. However, his argument does hold water. There's no denying that. Ow!
Don't seem so flamboozled.
Flamboozled? What the? I'm looking that up. Flamboozled. Fun fact, the only place I can find a dictionary term for it is Urban Dictionary. It is to be utterly stupefied, is what flamboozled means. So if you are ever utterly stupefied, you are flamboozled. Keep that in mind.
Especially by this fraud of an attorney.
Fraud?
You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
And what is that?
You should know.
Ow!
You forgot that your fraud of a magician client was spotted at the scene of the crime.
Ah!
There is no reason to doubt the clown's testimony.
That's true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright?
Nick! Don't let her beat you now!
I won't. This is my chance to turn this trial around.
When the murder occurred, there were two people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer this, and only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Who was the murderer the clown saw?
Fuck. Personally, I think it's the statue. He saw Max, but
I asked who was the other person Mo saw on the scene. That evidence has nothing to do with the question.
au contraire, mon frère. It does indeed have something to do with the question. Okay. Phoenix, bonus points for coming out with au contraire, mon frère. That's great. That's fantastic. Phoenix is the best. Nobody can outdo our boy. He's too good at this shit. Mo said that he saw Max's silhouette. But he did not actually see the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw. I big brained that. From the second, this stream started, my thought process was, the bust was what, people had been seeing. The fuck? I don't know what I got on my nail, but I got something on my nail. Don't know how I got there. It's coffee. That's what it is. It's a coffee. But, from the beginning of this stream, since it started, I figured the bust was the person standing there and the murder weapon. I thought that from the get-go. Because everybody says they didn't see the hat fly off. So that means it was permanently on there. Big brain. Big brain. How is that possible? It's simple, really. Phoenix better let you know. What Mo actually saw that night was Max's bust. What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak. There's no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to the bust. It would be easy to hang one off of the cards in the bust's hands. Idiot! Who in their right mind would put a cloak on a bust? It doesn't matter who put it on the bust. Just wait a minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? It puts the lotion on its skin. That question is of the utmost importance to this case, don't you agree? Dumb. He caught me. So let's have it, Mr. Wright. Saving. Real quick. Who put the cloak on the bust? It could be Acro. Given he didn't have an accomplice, it's either the monkey or Acro. I wonder, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Didn't the defendant wear his cloak the entire time he was at practice? So then how did this person get a hold of the cloak? Well, furthermore, how would this person have gotten the cloak onto the bust, I wonder? Because this person was not spotted at the scene. I'm sorry. Fuck. Moving back, so I have some space to work with. Okay. There were no footprints. It has to be, right? Huh. Huh. Okay, well now I'm at now on the small brain moment.
Because I was trying to think, I was trying to go through all the ideas, and I'm like, is it possible that Barry put the cloak on the murder weapon? Fool! Him? You are saying it was the victim himself, Russell Barry. That's what I'm saying. The victim himself placed the cloak on the bust. Place the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it. And what would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright? Explain yourself. Nick, do you really have a handle on all this? I'm fine, Maya. I'm finally putting all the pieces together. There's really only one picture I can paint. Anyways. Alright. So you want to know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. Are we playing... Is this the end of Danganronpa? Is this the end of Danganronpa now? Are we going to get the comic book section? Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene. Then, he attached the rope to the bust and dangled the bust out of his bedroom window directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room and went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than the ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben and Trilo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. And when Acro took his chance and released the rope, now this is when the magic happens. At the very instant the bust hit the victim, oh my god, it hit the cloak off of him, and it floats on. Oh my god. You want to talk about just a coincidence? That's a hell of a coincidence. That is a hell of a coincidence. You wait just a second there, Mr. Phoenix Wright. As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this just isn't true. It can't be. It's still a little early to be getting so upset, Miss Von Karma. This circus isn't over yet. I will be back in a second, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I had to do something real quick, so I'm going to get the ad break early. Whoops.
Jedrick Wills is on the COVID list. That's not good for Cleveland. That really hurts for Cleveland. Who does Cleveland have this week? Don't they have the Jets? Because if they have the Jets, ooh-wee. Come on, Jets. Come on, Jets. All the Jets keep winning, I'm happy. I mean, at this point, it's Jacksonville and Jets 1 and 2. It just depends on which one gets which. Because now that Cincinnati has 3 wins, they aren't losing to the Browns. You sure about that? I think the Browns could beat them, but they ain't beating the Browns. Hey, you don't know. You don't know. We didn't think they were beating the Rams. That was the ultimate trap game, though. Alright. I will say, I sat there and I'm like, this is the trap game. It's the most overconfident team in football against the worst team right now. It is the biggest trap game. I did have a feeling in the back of my head that the Jets could win. I didn't think they would, but I had a feeling they could. So hoping for 0-16, but the Rams fall into trap games more than the Raiders. I mean, the Rams always fall into trap games. They're too overconfident. This circus isn't over yet. What? That's just a giant coincidence. The impact of the bust on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. That impact also caused the sound a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. As long as the Browns give it to Nick Chubb and Jarvis Landry, they'll win. Yeah. They should win that. They should 100% win it. The witness was, of course, Lawrence Mo Curls, the clown, born in West Philadelphia, born and raised. On the playground is where he spent most of his days. When Mo looked out his window, the cloak had already snagged onto the bust. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Mo saw the bust being raised with the cloak dangling on it. Primarily because in his wheelchair, he couldn't see out his window. So he just kept pulling the bust up. Whee! Jason Garrett's going to call plays against the Steelers or against the Ravens. Well, good to know that he's healthy enough to call plays. And that is how the magical murderer disappearing into the sky came to be. So you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the one person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the crime scene. Acro, it could only have been you. Why are you so fucking happy? Why are you not shocked and amazed? Acro's been playing mind games with all of us? He sure has. But he has come to the end of his rope now. See what he did there? So, what now? You've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. So question, do you think Daniel Jones and Dwayne Haskins are busts? I think Haskins is in bust territory, definitely. Daniel Jones, I don't think has entered bust territory yet. Because I think he's still moderately okay. He hasn't entered bust territory. For me, a bust is, like, garbage. Like, that's the way I consider bust. Like, Taven Bryan for the Jags. Massive bust. He had all the potential in the world, just never lived up to it. So, that's massive bust. But Daniel Jones is garbage. I wouldn't call him as garbage as Dwayne Haskins. I would take Jones over Haskins. So, I think Haskins is definitely a bust. Jones, I don't think is in bust territory. Dude couldn't stop fumbling it. If he had 10 hands. I don't think that puts you in bust territory just because you fumble. Quarterbacks can't carry to save their lives most of the time.
But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true?
Evidence.
In this court, only two things matter. The power of evidence and the power of my whip.
She's just like all the tamer trainers. She's got her whip ready to go. Don't forget the power of my gavel as well. Does to me. If it costs your team countless games because of your own mistakes, you're a bust. I don't take fumbling into bust territory. Now, if you're just playing poorly, then you're in bust territory to me. Because if we're taking, like, fumbles into account, Gardner Minshew is garbage. I mean, absolute garbage. Like, that's if we're taking fumbles into account. And he is not great at keeping a hold of the football, but I still wouldn't count that against him as him being absolute trash. It's not great, but I wouldn't call him absolute trash. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence?
Nick, they say they want evidence.
I just explained how there can only be one possible murder method. There is still something unusual about Moe's eyewitness account.
Unusual?
A contradiction, actually.
Okay then, use that and get out of this jam.
As a Raiders fan, I know bust. Trust me, as a Jags fan, every pick is a bust. Ian Conley, for example. Yeah. You want me to give you some? Dante Fowler, Jacksonville Jaguars. Luke Jokel. Who was after Jalen? Who did we take after Jalen? Have you heard of him in Atlanta, though? He did well with the Rams when he had Aaron Donald to help him. That's the thing. He had one good year. That's it. And then he got paid and he's done nothing. It's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence to the court that backs your claims. I heard a thing from Atlanta because they choke and can't speak. Huh? Good point. Good point. Who else? I'm trying to think of all Jacksonville's first round picks because almost every single one of them's a bust. Blaine Gabbert. Tyson Alualu technically is a bust because he wasn't worth a first round pick. Derek Harvey. Could have had Calais Campbell that year. Just want to point that out. Byron Leftwich. Not really a pure bust, but still didn't live up. Matt Jones. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to this magic case. I mean, do I have to do this? Bro, where is Matt Jones? I don't know. And I just hope he's okay. I just hope he's living his best life and it's not drug fueled. Okay, so that wasn't what I was supposed to do. Got it. Try again. If they had been silent for 2 more seconds, I would have screamed.
Nick, they say they want evidence.
Just explained how there... Something unusual about Moe's eyewitness account. don't remember his full account, and that's what sucks. I'm sorry, I don't speak Russian or Cyrillic. There we go. Cannot read that. Only am fluent in English. Get ready for the Raiders bus. Marcus Russell, Darius Hayward. I wouldn't consider Darius Hayward Bay a pure... It depends on what you consider a bust. Like me with Tyson Alualu. I consider him a bust only because he wasn't worth a first-round pick. He was still a solid player. Hey, Pepperjack, welcome to the stream, man. Good to see you pop in here. DJ Hayden was a bust. He's a solid nickel corner, though. What's the evidence? Is it... I'm trying to think about what this evidence is. I don't want to go back through everything. Well, it looks like we're going back through everything. Just gonna go real quick. Yeah. I should have saved after I did all my big brain moments. Go. He gets speed right through. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is coming home, it looks like. Jags are going to hire Rick Smith or Louis Riddick, it looks like, for GM. Yeah, right now those are the guys that are looking at GM, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do... if they interview a few more now, since you can interview guys. Yeah, no, we do. I don't want to even. I don't want to touch Bill O'Brien with a 10-foot pole. Window, the clerk had already snagged onto the bust. You saw the bust being raised. Okay. Hey, man. Happy holidays, Kaz. Welcome to the stream, man. Enjoy your lurking. Okay, checks hired Doug Moreau as GM and that. No, rather not. I love Doug as a head coach, personally, but no. Come on. Get us back to where we were. Still very unsure of a lot of this. We're gonna save here just so that way, if I fuck up, which I more than likely will, we'll be ready. Something unusual. Contradiction. Oh, I should say, for those of you ready for GOU this Saturday, you have a hell of a game coming your way. I'll say this much is the best game of the series so far. You want to watch it. You want to watch it. Saturday is going to be big. Rick Smith hasn't had a bad amount of drafts. It's just I am iffy on anyone who has been there with the Texans. Okay, God, if Jay Gruden becomes the new head coach and Jags hire Marvin Lewis as you, half of that is really bad. What's the contradiction? Oh. Is it the symbols? For the hat? I can't believe I done thought that through and actually figured it out. I'm legit dumbfounded. Legit dumbfounded. I thought that one through. The problem is Max's three symbols. You know, silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses. Those symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings. Yesterday, there were two contradictions in Mo's testimony. The silk hat was one, the white roses were the other. But the theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions. You fool, do you ever shut up? The dream would be Bill Cowher and Daniel Jeremiah, basically an amazing head coach, and would run it, and an expert analysis and scout. There's no way that would be physically possible. I like DJ, but I still don't know how he would do it a full GM position. That's the only thing I'm iffy of with DJ. I think draft-wise he'd do fantastic. I also think a lot about contracts and all that type of stuff, which Dave Caldwell was actually fairly good at. Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. Although Bill Cowher, though, if we could pull him in a head coach. But top of the list, I want me Benemy, and then Saleh, Joe Brady be fine, and I'd be fine with Jim Caldwell as well. Those are my four. Those are my four that I'd be real happy with. However, remember what Mo said yesterday. He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat the Mo saw was actually the bus. Makes sense. If you look at it that way, then he did see the silk hat. Well, sort of. Fine, you've got one, but what about the other contradiction? The other contradiction? Remember when the ventriloquist said in court, he said that he witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night, but the clown's testimony doesn't match. That's because he saw him from the back. The clown said that there were no white roses. I'd like to see you try and explain that one away. Can you do it, Nick? Oh yeah, of course. I can explain all of it. What was that? Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged onto the bust. Dude, Phoenix is feeling himself right now, so much. If the cloak snagged onto the bust, what happened to the white roses? There's the phone. Oh man, we almost went a whole stream without it.
I gotta see. You gotta see who's calling. Oh no. I left that area a long time ago. No chance I want to pick up that number. No chance in hell. Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bus, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bus. I can't do a female I just can't. Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they were on the back side of the bus. Phoenix over here just flaunting now. He's got it all. Order! Order! Give me those words. This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads. Let's do this, Nick! Then maybe Von Karma will finally throw in the towel. She's not throwing in the towel, Maya. She's too stubborn for that. See? Look at that face. I don't look like the face of someone throwing in no towel. And he's still smiling. Well, so much for that theory. Mr. Wright, do you mind? What is it? You took the time to research our circus, didn't you? Well, yes, I did. Is there something making you think that I didn't? If you did, then maybe you would understand why I think you're off track. Why is that? Motive. This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. You think I don't got motive? You don't think I ain't got motive? Thus, there is absolutely no way someone like this would kill the ringmaster. It was an accidental death. He didn't plan on killing the ringmaster. He planned on killing somebody else. Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now. What do we know? There's no doubt that Acros deeply respected the ringmaster. Acro's motive. Seems that this case isn't over yet. Very well. However, I feel this is a good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after recess. Okay, so we made it to the halfway point. That's fantastic. This court will now take a 10-minute recess. I think we'll probably be done in about an hour. Because I think I got the rest of it, for the most part, under wraps. I think. Don't hold me to that. I think. I'm going to use this big brain of mine. I think I got the second half of this trial. December 30th, 2:17 p.m. Dear Lord, we were in there for 4 hours. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 5. I can't believe it, Acro. It's pretty shocking, isn't it? Oh, he's gone to that form. It definitely is. And to think he was always the most straightforward of the group. Jeebus, am I that hated? Acro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose. He did? Psst. But, I'm nothing but a little old nobody, you know? Well, you're not, which is kind of the reason why. Hey, pal. You gonna ignore me after I went to all this trouble to bring you some evidence? My boy Gumshoe coming through. Ah, Detective Gumshoe! Ah, forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyways. Now, detective. I'm sorry. Look, why don't you relax a little? We've got some really tasty milk. Get this man some milk. How about a card trick, detective? Ho, well, if you insist. Now, about that evidence you mentioned. What is it? Here you go. Huh? This was yesterday in Acro's room. Yup, and I've included the forensic results. Take a look at it later. Won't Miss Von Karma be mad that you're doing this? That's why this is all a secret. You say hush hush, you keep your mouth shut. We'll take you down to the river, you keep your mouth shut. Huh? Look, details are on a need-to-know basis, and we're not really allies or anything. Everything that's happened in court up until now has gone according to our plan. I don't know. Miss Von Karma didn't seem in control of things in there just now. You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were set into motion. Final plans? Uh-huh. That reminds me. I've got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing is ever truly decided until the very end. That's it. That's it for me too, pal. I'm out of here. He's gotta go get him an Italian on rye down at the deli. What did he mean by that? The very end part. I'm not sure. It was all very cryptic to me. Oh, there, one more thing before I go down to the deli. Ah! Don't scare me like that! It looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant. What? For me? It's milk. Lots and lots of milk. The reception area looks like some kind of dairy. So hurry up and drink it all before it spoils. An entire dairy's worth of milk? For me? For me? They brought me the milk? Okay, back to the courtroom. Court is back in session. Miss Von Karma, please continue from where you left off. I'd like to continue with Akro's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Akro would have to commit this crime. Understood. Now, Mr. Dingley. Yes, Your Honor. Please proceed with your testimony. Finally, we get to the motive. Wait, Nick, are you okay? Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. Alright, let's do this. When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. It's when the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Russell Berry, took us in. I became an acrobat at around 9 years old. I can't talk, though. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life. You're such a thoughtful young man. As you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. I wonder how anyone could think that Akro would kill the man he held in such esteem. You're absolutely right. How could anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need for a cross-examination, is there? Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Akro kill the ringmaster? I'm telling you, man, he wouldn't. He killed the wrong person. This might be my last chance to answer that question. Gotta do the cross-examination. The defense has a right to cross-examine the witness. You're so tactless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You don't care about justice, do you? You just want to fabricate a motive.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Cross-examine the witness.
Bring it, Acro.
We? Yes, my brother Sean and I. What? You have a brother?
How old were you when this happened, Acro?
I was 8 years old and my brother was 4. Your parents were very cruel, weren't they? Nowadays, we aren't bitter about what happened to us, because it allowed us to meet the wonderful people at the very big circus.
Nick, the judge is getting misty-eyed. He's got a soft spot for sob stories, it looks like.
Uh-oh.
No crying in court. Let's keep going.
You hear that? That's future reference for you guys, if ever you need it. No crying in court. The witness may proceed with his testimony.
How would you describe your relationship with the ringmaster?
It was like an uncle, a father, and a big brother all rolled up into one. The ringmaster and my brother were the only family I had. What about other people at the circus? This was over 15 years ago. Back then, there were very few customers coming in, so no one really had the time to look after us. They were worried about other things. But the ringmaster, he would always come see us with a laugh and a smile.
What a beautiful story.
That's why I was always thinking of what I could do to help. I wanted to thank him.
Nick, isn't Acro such a wonderful person?
I know. Seems like a nice guy. Which is what makes this so difficult. So how long have you been a performer? You started off as an acrobat at that early of an age? I begged the ringmaster until he finally agreed to let me do it. Ever since then, I've been in incredible physical shape. Pa-pow! That's also when I decided to form a group with my brother. We called ourselves the Flying Dinglingberries. Don't make the joke. Don't make the joke. Fucking dinglingberries. Dinglingberries? Dinglingberries. Oh, they were just the dingleberries. Oh, I had to do it. I had to do it. They're the flying dingleberries. That's what they are. They're the dingleberries. Why? Why, game? Why did you do that? The flying dinglingberries. Dingleberries. It's nearly a household name. Oh, I'm sure it is.
I've never heard of them in Germany.
Liar! The point is what I wanted. The point is that I wanted to be some use to the circus. You are truly a remarkable young man. Judge keeps looking at Acro almost like a proud father. Did you ever have any trouble with the ringmaster? Ow!
How could you ask such a thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You have some sort of fundamental misunderstanding of this witness's testimony, or the heartfelt emotions contained within. You better think about this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You better think hard. Ow! Ow!
No matter how you look at it, there's no way I could see this witness ever taking the victim's life.
Exactly. I've been waiting for you to say that, Your Honor. Nick, I hate to say it, but I can agree with him.
I was trying to chase down the truth, but I ended up just looking like a jerk. I think that will be enough for now. Pondering whether or not this man would kill the ringmaster leads me to believe that it is pretty unlikely.
Exactly right, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question. Go ahead, Your Honor. Would just like to know, can you provide an explanation as to why Acro would want the ringmaster dead?
Oh, this is a tough one because I can provide an answer to why you would want someone dead, but I can't say it's the ringmaster. I don't know what that would be under, though, because I know who he wanted to kill, and it wasn't the ringmaster. Just the person he wanted to kill was too stupid. Alright, I'm gonna go with this, because I think this is more the right answer. Nick! Yeah, I didn't even have to think about it. It was obvious from the start. Your Honor, the reason that Acro killed the ringmaster is something that can't be proven.
What?
That's because Acro had no reason to kill the ringmaster at all. Holy shit, did I pick the right one? Did I pick the... Did I do it? Did I big brain it? Your foolish attempts to fool us like foolish fools is so foolhardily foolish. Did you forget you made an accusation against this witness, did you not? I believe it was, this is the real killer of Russell Barry, Ringmaster.
You want to jump to the end of things?
Then yes, that sounds about right.
The end of things?
Acro. You didn't plan to kill the ringmaster at all, did you? The ringmaster wasn't your target that night. Oh man. Yeah. I had this all figured out. I was big brain. Big brain. Big brain. Big brain. I knew it. I'm just amazed I actually picked the right one. It just made more sense to say there was no reason, because there really was no reason, legitimately. Oh, man. I love it. What did you just say? I'm saying that the target of the witness's murderous plot was not the ringmaster. Because it was never his intention to kill Russell Barry to begin with. What?
Order! Order! Bailiff, I don't care who it is. Smack anyone who's loud in the face. Twice if you must.
Gonna smack all of them.
Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to my court?
Oh! Mr. Phoenix Wright, what in the world are you trying to do in his court? Are you attempting to imply that Acro was trying to kill someone else? Regina Perry?
This young girl is the ringmaster's daughter, correct?
Acro, you were really aiming for her that night, weren't you? I think I touched a nerve. You don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited leading question.
He could easily answer this question.
If I'm wrong, all he has to say is, you're wrong. That's it. That's it. Huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Enough, Mr. Wright. Allow me to. Ow!
The only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself.
Huh?
And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me evidence, now. I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Berry.
Yes, me too. I demand to see some proof. Present evidence that proves Acro was out to kill this young girl.
Well, there's two pieces of evidence. Do I do that one or do I do this one? I think it's this one.
All right, Mr. Wright.
At this point, the only thing that's important is evidence.
It's better not to be a bluff. You're not going to. Ow!
You're not going to fool me, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Those two are finishing each other's sentences now. Must be the special bond between Whipper and Whipped.
My patience is running thin, Mr. Wright.
Okay, well, shit. It's gotta be this thing, right? Or do I just point out bad? Okay, it was that. Fucking shit. There was too much evidence that I could have shown. I feel like all of it works. Okay, so it was the one thing that I thought I probably had to do. Fuck. I big brain that, and then I small brain everything else. Gotta love it. Actually. Smack people. Okay. Boop. Okay. This is what happens when you don't save. I'm gonna save right here though, just to make sure. If I fuck up again, I'm good. Actually, let me save here, even easier to get to it. Better idea. Hey. There we go. Acro, you remember this, don't you? Looks like you do. It's a piece of paper that we found inside the Ringmaster's tailcoat.
Inside the victim's tailcoat.
Acro wrote this note. It's ironically entitled, "To the Murderer." Its purpose was to call someone to the plaza at 10 p.m.
So you're saying that he called Russell Berry with that note?
Yes, but there's just one little problem.
Problem?
Acro did indeed place this note into someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the Ringmaster. You mean it wasn't for the... That's exactly what I mean. The person this note was intended for was none other than Regina Berry. Tell you, man, Phoenix is feeling it right now.
Order! 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 Mr. Wright, this little theory of yours.
It's the truth, Your Honor. It isn't a theory. Not even a game theory. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her. Which is why, the morning of the crime, she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board. That's when her father, I mean the Ringmaster, saw the note. That's correct. The Ringmaster ended up in the plaza instead of Regina.
And he was killed because of that mistake, instead of Regina. That's incredible! Remember the testimony that Acro gave us earlier today? Lifting the bust and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. If I were to do that, I'd end up falling out the window myself. Acro had no idea who it was that arrived in the plaza, because he couldn't look down out of his window to see who it actually was. I've got it! I've got it! Acro thought it was Regina down in the plaza. And that's when he left the bust. That's when he let the bust fly. Huh.
Hey Nick, isn't Regina listening to all of this from the audience?
Yup, she is. Unfortunately, it's only going to get harsher from here.
I hope Regina can handle it.
Sure, you and me both. Acro wrote this note to Regina.
Objection!
Foolishly foolish fool with foolishly foolish fool ideas of foolishly... You are so foolish, you've even made me sound like a fool-hearted fool.
Stop with the fool, Von Karma.
Very well, Mr. Phoenix Wright. If you're so sure, then tell us about this line. I have conclusive evidence of what took place.
Yes? What about that line?
Well, if the note was meant for Regina Barry, it would mean that this note is declaring that Regina Barry is a murderer.
You just don't get it, do you?
What? What did you just say?
The ringmaster knew what that note meant,
Which is why he went to the plaza.
in place of his lovely daughter. Hold it right there, Mr. Wright. What is this incident that is alerted to in the note? The incident 6 months ago. I know all about it. An incident occurred 6 months ago. And now I am more than ready to show this court what happened at the time.
Moron!
Wait, are you sure that it relates to the present case? It does indeed, Your Honor. Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago.
Really, Nick?
I think so.
Well then, if that's the case, hurry up and tell us about it. What is this conclusive evidence mentioned in the note? I know I'd certainly like to know what it is.
If I can't answer that question, the judge is going to think I'm bluffing. Better save real quick just in case. The conclusive evidence about the incident 6 months ago is actually... What? This is it? Well, kind of figured that I'd try to get rid of evidence. I didn't need any more. Okay, shit. I want to go back. Load me back up. I was wrong. I'm willing to admit it. Okay, so with that, there's multiple things that can work for half of this. What? This is it? Wait, what? It's not... Oh! It's... Okay. Is he mad about that? I figured it would be his brother that's the evidence. It's the fucking lion that's the evidence? Wait, what? Wait a minute. Okay, game, now you're... Wait a minute, game. What the... Wait, wait, okay, man, in here.
I mean, I thought Leon was it. Unless... No? Bruh! I put out all the evidence that happened 6 months ago! No! Oh, now the game's just fucking with me. They know I knew too much. They're like, you don't know enough now. Fuck you, game. Fuck you. Trying to come at me like that. Oh. Is this really the conclusive evidence? Is this real? That makes sense. I didn't think about that being the conclusive, and that's why it's in the... That's why it's in the box, yeah. Okay, that makes sense now. I was wondering when the pepper was going to come into play. I'm not going to lie. Small brain on that. Big time small brain. I feel real stupid for not realizing that one. Achoo! Choo! 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 What kind of spicy joke is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It isn't a joke at all. It's the decisive evidence you asked for. What do you mean? Recall that the victim was trying to take the wooden box away with him. He was doing so because this piece of decisive evidence is what was inside. Another unbelievable conclusion. Very well, Mr. Wright. So what exactly are you saying? Are you claiming Regina Berry killed someone with a small bottle of pepper? Taking the note into account, that's the only logical conclusion you can draw. Foolish fool who never tries of his own foolish ways. Never tires of his own foolish ways. If you're so sure, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then answer this question. Who was Regina Berry's intended victim? Who is this? This is Acro's younger brother. What does this prove? His younger brother isn't dead. Technically, that's true. However, Bat has been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stretch to see how Acro could feel that his brother is dead. Regina, she did that to him? Do you spend your entire life dreaming up new ways to be a fool? Naturally, the prosecution has looked into Acro's brother, Sean Dingling. 6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into a current comatose state. Lion! Miss Regina Berry is an animal tamer by trade. However, no tamed animal in that position is ever trained to attack another human. They wouldn't understand the command. Moreover, Miss Regina could never do something like that. It's just not in her. So then what happened to Acro's brother? He's not the victim of an attempted murder. He's the victim of an accident. I see. Now what do we do? No one seems to be going along with your theory. Do you think what happened to Bat was actually an accident? Oh, it was more than that. It was more than that. We got the evidence to prove it. The lion biting Bat was no accident at all. What? You're such an amateur, Mr. Phoenix Wright. There is no way that Regina would ever incite her lion to attack another human being.
She may not have incited the lion to attack another human being, but Regina is responsible for making the lion bite Acro's brother Bat. That's just a scarf. Acro? This scarf is something that Bat used to wear, correct? That's right. And who is the one that gave this scarf to Bat? Regina. Regina gave it to him. Regina! There is something more than just blood on this scarf, Your Honor. And what might that be? Pepper. Pepper? Pepper. Regina gave this scarf to Bat right before the accident. And she covered it with as much pepper as she could. I had a feeling. Now, I had a feeling, like, about halfway through the stream last time, I had a feeling Regina was the killer. And I was, like, Regina was, like, supposed to be murdered. But I wasn't 100% sure. And then I figured it out once I got to the figuring out the bust situation. Leon did it. It's always Leon, man. It's always Leon. Always Leon. Never anyone else. Hey! What's with the silent treatment? Excuse me, Mr. Wright. You've done a good job of fingering a criminal. Phrasing, please. But out of curiosity, what was her crime? Miss Barry gave a pepper-covered scarf to Bart as a present. Where's the crime in that? Still seems like the judge just doesn't get it. Yeah, Von Karma does, though. Mr. Phoenix Wright, wasn't it said that the lion seemed to be smiling? Smiling? The lion was smiling? Right before Bat was bit by the lion. For a moment, the lion's mouth changed and it looked like he was smiling. Lions smile? I've never heard of them smiling before. However, lions sneeze. Leon wasn't trying to bite Bat at all. Look, Leon did it. Look at him. In reality, all he actually did was sneeze. He sneezed because of all the pepper on the scarf. What? Leon got the Rona. You fool! Yep, we should be done here in just a bit. And then I'm hoping we can finish with enough time to get a sneak peek of the next trial. Or of the next section. You've got to be kidding me!
Objection!
You got nothing, Von Karma. What's the matter, Miss Von Karma?
I object for objection's sake. Mr. Phoenix Wright, this theory, you believe it. You really intend to say that this is how this joke of an accident actually happened?
Neat King, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Of course I do. It's the truth. The lion sneezed due to the pepper, and that's when Bat lost consciousness. Acro nearly lost his brother due to this accident, or this joke, as you put it. Which is why he tried to get his revenge against Regina.
You foolish idiot!
Huh. Ha ha ha. It almost does seem like a terrible joke, doesn't it? Once again, I'm impressed by your imagination, Mr. Wright. Fuck. I thought he was just gonna admit it. To think that there's someone who treats this accident with the respect it deserves. Are you telling me that what I said was true?
Acro? You don't mean. You can't mean. Witness.
Are you confirming the defense's claim? Mr. Wright? Unfortunately, your imagination is not enough to find me guilty of murder. What do you mean by that? The pepper, the salt, the lion. I see where you're going, but it's a bit hard to swallow. Not to mention the fact that there's an even bigger problem with your theory. What would that problem be? Same problem it's always been. Evidence. If I drop Max's bust on top of the ringmaster, where is the evidence that proves that claim? You mean the conclusive evidence?
The biggest problem is the murder weapon, or the lack thereof, to be more precise.
The murder weapon? The bus that the defense claims was used. If that were to be found in Acro's room, and if it was covered with the victim's blood, that would be awfully conclusive in my eyes.
Yes, it would be.
The bust.
Nick, you gotta do something!
This is the last step. If I get this one right, the case is won. I don't need need more evidence. Shoots him in the head. Overruled. Whoops. Okay. I'm going to... Let's see how things work out first. Might be worthwhile to search Acro's room, but...
Well, why aren't you going to search his room? It looks like you finally figured things out, didn't you? Now you know the true meaning of Von Karma, total justice.
I guess. I figured with you, that's the least I should expect. You'd leave no stone unturned.
A Von Karma never leaves anything to chance. We already searched Acro's room yesterday.
I figured. What did you find?
There's no reason to even say it. If we found what you think we found in that room, Acro would not be here as a witness. But to put a point on it, Max's bust was not in the room. The meta weapon is still unaccounted for.
You see, Mr. Wright, the bust wasn't in my room.
Furthermore, Detective Dick Gumshoe executed the search by complete surprise, and we took Acro directly to the prosecutor's office after that. End of story.
Just wait a second. Something's funny about all that. Looks like you lack the final nail to put into my coffin. But, what about the scarf? What about the note? What about them, Mr. Wright? No offense, but the only evidence that is relevant here is that which pertains to the death of the ringmaster. You should know that by now.
Do something, Nick! Don't let this case slip away! The bust! Where's it now?
Where's the bust right now?
You're Phoenix, right? You know where the bust is! I'm sure you do!
There's not even a single clue. How am I supposed to know where the bust is? It seems this case is coming to a close. The defense's counter-arguments look to have fallen short.
Thank you for your support.
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. I think that brings to an end the cross-examination of this witness. Fuck. Wait.
Where is Mac's bus? The defense needs time to prepare to present its case. I'm in case. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous, and I just bit my tongue.
We need time to do what?
Why are you the most surprised person here? She's your aide, isn't she?
Do you really have a case to present, Mr. Wright?
What? Are you asking me? The rest is up to you, Nick. Good luck.
Hey, wait. You can't be serious.
Acrobats always have their lives on the lines, don't they? That's how Acros lived his life up until now. So it's time for us to walk across our own tightrope. If we don't, we're certain to lose.
Very well. The defense may proceed. Ooh. I'm gonna save real quick. He doesn't have a clue, and I don't think he'll be finding one anytime soon.
Walking the tightrope of logic. There's no room for a false step.
Sink or swim. The only way through is forward.
The meta weapon. Where is Mac's bust now?
Must be somewhere in the very big top.
It's in the big top?
Mr. Wright, where exactly in the big top would we find the bush? In the cafeteria. Of course, it is obviously in the cafeteria.
The cafeteria.
Why would it be there? That's easy enough. It's the messiest place in the entire circus.
Spare us the jokes. That reminds me, our office is just as messy as that cafeteria.
I wouldn't go that far. It's not that messy.
We went over the cafeteria with a fine-tooth comb. Found no sign of the bust.
Shit. Cyberpunk updated? Oh man. How big was the update? Alright. I think... I'm trying to remember where it would be. If they searched his room already... Let me go to the lodging house. I just want to see what the options are. Don't say.
You better not.
In fact, allow me to be even more specific as to its location. It's buried in the plaza, near the scene of the crime, and no one noticed it.
How could you possibly think that?
Haven't you ever heard the old saying, it was hiding right under your nose? That about sums it up. Dear Lord, Phoenix is great. I like getting these wrong answers sometimes. I should rethink that, shouldn't I? I do like sometimes getting these wrong answers just for the dialogue. I'd rather get them right, but... Let me, where would it be? What's the courtroom? I just want to see what it says about the courtroom. It's obvious. The bust is inside this very courtroom. It's obviously where? Allow me to pinpoint the location of the bust once and for all. No. Daniel Bryan's contract is coming up. I would expect him to more than likely re-sign. Acro, I'm sorry to ask this. Do you mind if I take the blanket off your wheelchair? I forgot he had a blanket. I legit forgot he had a blanket. I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you, Mr. Wright. Yeah, but with that, I feel like he's just going to re-sign as a writer. Because I feel they're going to want to keep him around for SmackDown. Well, you are a big guy. You have a pretty big wheelchair because of it. I just wanted to make sure you weren't hiding anything under that blanket. Because it seems to me that it'd be really easy to say, hide a bust under there. Once again, your penchant? Yeah. Your penchant for humor hits me where it hurts, Mr. Wright. I think it's pretty amazing that you can laugh in your position. However, your lightheartedness doesn't change the fact that the bust is under there. And being a writer for Vince tears up scripts McMahon sounds awesome. Yeah. The only reason I'm happy both of my applications were never brought up. Sent in two. They never did anything about it. Not even an email saying they didn't want me. However, we all know that you can't leave the lodging house by yourself in your condition. That proved inconvenient when Miss Von Karma happened to search your room yesterday. I should have thought about that initially. I didn't even think about that. If she had found the murder weapon in your room, it would have been all over. Which is why you had to hide it. The only place that you could hide it. Under your wheelchair. Which is why, Acro, I have to ask you again. Would you please remove the blanket from your lap? Well done, Mr. Wright. Masterfully played. Yeah, Jeff Hardy's contract comes up very soon as well. If they allow him to do what they want to do, what he wants to do with Willow, he might stay, though. You fool! How could you? Yep, we'll be good now. You've got me. I've been bagged by a real pro. Actually, two of them. Two of them. Miss Franziska Von Karma and Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? There's just one thing I'd like to know. How did you know to launch the surprise search on my room last night? Well, if they don't, I know a company that will and has his brother. Yep, they'll sign Jeff, and then who knows what's gonna happen there. There were two pieces of decisive evidence, the cloak and the bust. Burned the cloak in my room and threw the ashes away with the trash. Jean always took my trash out every morning, you know. Broken Matt and Willow returns. I don't know if they go Willow. They might go Jeff being obsolete, but I don't know if they would go Willow. But the bust, obviously I couldn't throw that away. When you executed your search, all I could do was try and hide the bust. The only place that I could hide it quickly was under this wheelchair. Miss Von Karma, you had things all figured out, didn't you? I was completely sucked in by your calculated strategy. Now to be caught in the middle of court, hiding the murder weapon. There's no way I can escape that. So you've got me. Well done, Mr. Wright. Well done, Miss Von Karma. Bruh, this dude thinks we're a tag team. Francisca ain't part of the tag team. There's only one tag team. And it's Edge Wright. That's it. It all makes sense now.
I can't believe the Von Karma thought that far ahead. It's amazing. Uh-huh. Definitely couldn't tell by looking at her. I know I sure couldn't. I can't believe it. Me, make a mistake. Why did I order a surprise search of your room? If only I hadn't done that. She's the mixed tag team partner. Yep. They could give Jeff the multiple personality thing like Matt, like Bounce's Team Extreme, Willow, Obsolete. Yeah, they could do the big multiverse type of thing, which wouldn't be bad, but it depends on how you use it. Seems we've finally arrived at the truth. Acro. Yes, Your Honor. Did you kill the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Mr. Russell Berry? Yes, Your Honor. I'm responsible for that crime. Acro! All my brother wanted was for Regina to like him. That's why he'd tease her. One day my brother sprinkled some pepper on Regina. She started sneezing so hard, you couldn't help yourself from laughing. That's why Regina thought it'd be funny to get him back in the same way. Still love the stadium match, how Matt faces facts appeared. That's the most memorable part of that pay-per-view. Yeah, the Matt facts were good. That I enjoyed him going V1. That's why she covered the scarf with pepper. I know she didn't mean for anything bad to happen. I know this. She just wanted to make my brother sneeze a few times, too. But, just couldn't forgive her, no matter what. What am I truly guilty of? I'm guilty of never, ever being able to understand her. My brother became a star. Regina believes in that so purely. She would laugh innocently when saying it. Too innocently. Sheeta and Nyla in the stadium brawl. That was all you remember? I just couldn't stand it. No matter how hard I tried. That's when you decided to do something about Regina. How dreadful. So are you saying that you are a victim in all of this as well? No, that's not what I meant. Oh, look at the tears. They look like milk. I'm nothing but a murderer. That's who I am. First I thought I'd kill myself, and I pondered giving myself up. But I couldn't just up and leave. Just couldn't. Not yet. That's why I tried to pin this on Max. Max, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't up and leave yet. This has been such a strange case. It's almost a reflection of the circus itself. I'm an idiot. I can't believe it. You beat me again. Yeah, Edgeworth said the same thing. I believe this case is now beyond any point of possible discussion. Thus, I'd like to declare my verdict. Not guilty. Woo! I want free tickets to the circus forever. This court is adjourned. Whew. Dear Lord, we were in there for another 2 hours. Fabulous! But to be honest, I can't really be too happy about this. Acro, the ringmaster, Regina, and Bat. Not a single one of them was a bad person inside, huh? That's a good question, and one I don't know the answer to. Many congrats, but only at max. 1,000,000 of them. Thank you. Yes. What's with the vibe in this room? Doesn't get through the vibe check. We're just thinking about Acro.
No, 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 no. If you worry about people too much, then you'll be like this forever and never be happy. True. True. True words, Mo. True words, Mo.
Huh?
She's been like this for a while now.
It's all my fault. Wow.
Sweetie pie.
Bat and Acro, they're never coming back. Now everyone's gonna split up.
She has emotions? Yeah, I know. Shocking.
Regina! Mr. Wright, tell me something.
What do you want to know, Regina?
Acro said something right at the end.
I wasn't gonna reread that.
Does that mean that Acro, is he gonna try and get his revenge on me?
I don't think so. He's not gonna do that to you, Regina.
Are you sure? You're really sure? I can believe that?
Yep. Acro doesn't have any desire for revenge anymore. He gonna give you to Leon? Leon's dead though, man. Leon's a star.
If that's true, then I want to see some evidence.
Huh?
I want to know you're not just making up that stuff about Acro not wanting revenge.
Acro didn't want to get caught for a reason. He wanted to see his brother open his eyes again.
But, Bat?
I never said which line. You make a point. You make a point. You big-brained me there. You big-brained me there, Jaren.
That's right, Regina. He's still alive, you know. I never knew. But now that Acro's been caught. Uh-huh. I know. What? I'll do it. I'll stay next to Bat as long as it takes. Till he opens his eyes, and then again he can meet Acro again.
I read that wrong. That's so sweet of you, Regina.
I'm sorry, Acro. I'm sorry, Bat.
Well, hopefully this is enough to give her a little peace of mind. Hey, Max! What is it, Mo? We really put you through a lot, didn't we, buddy? I'm sorry about what happened. So whenever you'd like to leave us, I'll pay your fee and rip up the contract. I understand. What a fabulous thing to do for me. I might even leave tomorrow. What's going to happen to the circus now? That's a big question. Our ringmaster was really an amazing person, wasn't he? Even though he's not here anymore, everyone is sticking together. The staff, the performers, no one wants to leave the circus. That's why I've made a decision. What is it? I've decided I will take over as the new ringmaster. I'll turn this circus into the best circus this world has ever seen. The best circus the world has ever seen. Don't laugh. That's quite the goal. Or that's quite the goal.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Then I guess that changes things. Huh? There's only one thing the best circus the world has ever seen needs. The world's best illusions. Which means this circus needs the best magician the world has ever seen. Max, let's work together and make our circus super fabulous. What do you say, big guy? I don't know what to say. All I can say is thank you. Regina, you're gonna help them out too, aren't you? Whoops, wrong voice.
I don't know. Maybe the circus would be better off without me.
What are you talking about, Regina? Why do you think that I brought you to court today? We gotta work together to make the very big circus bigger than it's ever been.
Mao.
Mo's right, sweetie pie. It can't be the Berry Big Circus without Regina Berry. Makes a good point there. Gotta change the name then.
Max. Nick! It seems like everything is going to turn out all right here. I can't wait to see the best circus the world has ever seen.
We'll save you the most fabulous seats. It'll take us a while to get ready, but I'm going to order special whoopee cushion seats. I see what made the case. Yesterday's surprise raid. It really paid off just like you said. You had it all figured out, didn't you? It was just a theory. Back Row really was the killer. I thought this was the only way it could end. Especially if he was the defense attorney. You means Mr. Wright? We at the airport. Of course. Well, Detective, my plane is about to leave. As for Mr. Acro's case, you don't need to worry. I plan to personally stop by the Chief Prosecutor's office as soon as I get back. Understood, sir. I'll be waiting for you as Mr. Edgeworth. He's back with a new coat and all. The tag team's back together again. Oh my god. Woo! The new year is gonna be big. And it's gonna have a lot of edge to it. Oh man. Fun fact, Carr's NFL injuries include broken ribs, grade 1, concussion, grade 3, broken ribs, grade 1 concussion, grade 3 high ankle sprain, grade 2 knee sprain MCL, sprained thumb, throwing hand, broken pinky, throwing hand, broken fibula, and a fractured back. He missed 2 regular season games. That's impressive. Dangerous, but impressive. And with that, we got to call a close to this stream. Mainly because, with Edgeworth coming back, now that we know the tag team's back together again, I mean, it doesn't get any bigger than that for the new year. Question is Edgeworth a heel or a face? Ain't that just the question? We'll answer that in the first Thursday of the new year. So, with that, that'll bring us to an end of this stream. Remember, we will be streaming very late tomorrow for Christmas. It's going to be 10 o'clock Eastern here, or 9 o'clock Eastern here. We will stream late. I'll read some terrifying holiday horror stories, hopefully. We'll find some really good ones. And have a little just relaxing Friday night fright. 9 at night. Oh, I got you. Yep. We'll be going. It's gonna be a late stream. Gonna be a late one. Mainly because since we're doing the stories, good to maybe go to sleep too or something of that nature. Let me in. But we will be doing that to finish up that, and at the end of that stream, I will announce the first stream of the new year. I'll tell you what we're doing. It will be Friday, January 1st, but I will tell you how long. I will tell you exactly what we're doing. So, with that, I will see you guys tomorrow for the final stream of 2020. See you guys.